up and get your joy up. Embrace this brand new day. Let light and love fill you up. Get your morning cup of Jubilee. So much goodness waiting. So much overflow. All this anticipation. Morning cup of Jubilee. Faith, love, and joy, the equation. Feeding your soul, you're amazing. Daily you're celebrating. Morning cup of Jubilee.
Good morning. Buenos dias. How are you doing? I hope that you have your cups ready, your tumblers, whatever you're sipping on, drinking on this morning, because it is time for today's play of the day. Get into it.
Help me recognize that's the clarity you give. Speak, 'cause I am listening. Yes, I'll capture every word you say. It's your will and your way, even if it robs them to cast me away. Your word is my protection and peace. And if you wake me from my sleep, or if you choose to send an angel while I dream, I wanna believe you the first time that you speak. Your word is my protection and peace.
I hope that you enjoyed that. That was Maya Elizabeth with Protection and Peace. And welcome once more to Morning Cup of Jubilee. Today, before we get into our topic, which is soft places in a loud world, I want to give a shout out to all of my parents that have teenage kids. I deeply resonate and connect and empathize with each and every one of you. Okay. And I know it's not related to the topic today at all, but it is related to my daily experience of raising two young Black kings in this world and needing to be able to find soft places in a loud world while continuing to pour into them and love on them and push back and be pushed back on and all the different things that come with raising young men, raising young people, and wanting them to be healthy and well while they also learn how to be independent, autonomous, make their own decisions and all the things. So shout out to all my parents, period. And a double shout out if you got teenagers, okay? And I just want you to know that if your teenager also leaves a fork in the sink after the dishes have been washed, I see you and I understand, okay? All right, let's get into today's topic, all right? Soft places in a loud world. And so I was reflecting and I was thinking, man, there's so much going on. And I mean, in the times of history, like when is there not a bunch of stuff going on? We know. But I also get this question like, well, how do you stay so joyful? How come you always seem to be so calm, peaceful, etc.? And again, this is a habit of mind. You know, it's a habit of mind, and it is my way of being that I have learned. And again, I get off the target sometimes, off script sometimes, and have to like reground. But I try not to get too far away from it because I want to be able to make good decisions. I want to be able to embrace my day and be productive and, show up in a way that really represents who I am. And so these are some of the things. So anyhow, right? This is all about uh, protecting peace, creating peace, embracing peace, right? It's not just about physical protection, but it's about mental and spiritual protection, right? Finding soft places in a loud world. This is about intentionality. So, yes, there's so much happening in the world now between the news, social media, the constant chatter. And if we're not careful, we can literally be pulled into anxiety, fear, hopelessness. But today I want to remind you that there is power in prayer. There is power in cultivating, right? And identifying where you can have some peace, tap into some peace in your environment, bring peace into your environment and from the inside out, but also from the outside in, right? And so it is important in our world, in our environment with all the things going on to ensure that we are protecting our peace, embracing our peace, cultivating peace, guarding our hearts, guarding our minds. And so we know that even if Jesus took some time to step away, which we know he did take time away to go to the mountains, to pray, to be still, to recharge, to gain clarity, to listen, to surrender, all of the things that help us to ground ourselves. And so if the Son of God needed it, solitude, rest, how much more do we need it, right? We can't pour from an empty cup. And I have been saying this for years. You can't pour from an empty cup. I'm trying to tell you, if you try it, ain't nothing going to come out, right? So today, I want to share 3 simple but powerful ways to protect your peace, right? To protect your peace, to live in the overflow, okay? And to be intentional about mornings. And I know you hear me saying this over and over again, and it's because I really believe in it. I really believe that the how you spend your morning really impacts the trajectory of your day. Right? You can't control everything that happens, but it's more about our perspective, how we respond to the things that happen in our day, right? And I really believe that. And so number 1 is fill your cup intentionally. Okay? If you go to Starbucks, Dunkin' Donuts, your local cafe, and you order, a latte, or maybe you're ordering an herbal tea, or you're ordering espresso shots, when they give you your cup, okay, right? They give you your cup. It's not supposed to look like this, right? I had this earlier. You want your cup full. You expect that the cup is full. And if they give you a cup that's empty, you're going to be, what's going on? Like, what did I pay for? Fill up my cup. Well, you should demand that of your mornings. Fill up your cup intentionally. It won't just happen. Okay. You've got to put the effort into it. And I get it. Maybe this is not a part of your routine, right? Maybe it is, right? But the intentionality is what makes all the difference. And it doesn't have to be a bunch of things. It can just be 1 to 2 things that you're going to do every morning to fill your cup intentionally. Your morning sets the tone for your entire day. I really, really believe this. I really do. Before the world starts pulling up, before the world starts pulling at your energy, pour into yourself as much as you can. That might look like prayer. It might look like journaling. It might look like reading a devotion, reading the Bible, reading an article that, helps you become more self-aware, or gives you tips on how to enact self-love or whatever it is. It might be like stretching, working out, going for your walk, okay, sipping your coffee in silence, or calling somebody who makes you laugh, right? All of these things. It's whatever fills you up. Try to get a dose of that every single morning, okay? Be intentional about what you feed your spirit first. I'm really, really a stickler about this, right? And like, I don't have no problem with Cardi B, but I wouldn't listen to her at 6:30 a.m. Like, I'd have to be in a special place, right? I might listen to her at 6 p.m. driving home from work or on a road trip or something like that. But I'm very, very particular about the music I listen to. Even if I do go on social media, which I try not to go on there before a certain time, right? I want to be intentional about what enters my mind, my heart, my soul, my spirit before anything else. Like, it matters, right? So I want to fill my mind with things that are good, things that are lovely, things that are of good report, and that are life-giving in the morning, right? Of course, all day. I'm not saying it just, starts and stops in the morning. I'm saying that this time is so sacred that that's important to me to ensure that that's the kind of energy that I am engaging with early in the morning. Okay. And so when life starts pouring demands on you, you're responding from a place of overflow when you have filled your cup intentionally and not depletion. Okay. And so remember, if your cup is empty, you cannot pour into anybody else. And I know you've heard this before. So, all right. So I want you to ask yourself each morning, what do I need to feel full today? Right? What do I need to show up in the way that I know is aligned with who I am as a person, as a human being? Uh, what is that? And then give yourself permission to do that. Okay. So that's number one. Fill your cup intentionally. Number two is protect your peace by reducing the noise. There's a lot of noise. There's a lot of chatter. There's a lot of pots and pans and ding, 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 ding. Look over here. Look over here. This news, that news. This is happening over here. Gaza's over here. ICE is over here. Right. And all these things are important. They cut food benefits. They did that. Trump is doing this. He's breaking down the wing and making a ballroom. This one's over here. This comedian, that comedian, this trip, that trip. This phone call, that phone call, this project, that project. Look at me, look at me. Bills, 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 bills. Can you pay my bills? So you don't have to absorb everything that's happening in the world or even in your world. Okay? It's okay and it's necessary to step back. Some days I feel overwhelmed, but it's because I'm trying to process all the things at the same time and I'm not stepping back to be like, wait, these are things and this is me. I don't have to become these things. I don't have to absorb these things. Hold on. Let me take a moment real quick. Hold on. Because if I engage with this right now, I'm going to be anxious. I'm going to be angry. I'm going to be confused. I'm going to be all the things because I need to ground myself first. Wait, hold on a second. Wait a minute. Right now, all the things are demanding of me what I don't yet have. So let me take a moment to ground myself, to fill my cup intentionally, to pray, to talk to a trusted person, to laugh, to do what have you, so that I can engage healthily with all the things that need my attention because we know that's how life is, right? So it's okay to step back. It's necessary to step back. And I know things come, knocking on your door, but you don't always have to answer right then. Like they might have to stand outside a little bit and wait. And I'm sorry. I hope you don't have to use the bathroom, but hold on. Like, let me put my robe on. Let me get my slippers real quick before I come to the door. It's chilly outside, right? And so you get to set boundaries around your social media intake. You get to set boundaries around what's going on in your group chat and when you respond. I know plenty of people that are like, bruh, sis, I don't do group chats. I just don't. Them things, they go on forever. I don't know what the people going to put in there. You got Uncle Bobby doing this. You got Uncle Jimmy doing. You got Sally Sue said this. Then now somebody post a link. This one doing a fundraiser. Tomorrow they want to do a hike up the mountain. You need to get goulashes and you need to. They want to know what we're doing for Thanksgiving. They want to know what we're doing for Hanukkah, Christmas. They want to know when's the next family trip. I can't do group chats. It's overwhelming. You get to set a boundary. I'm gonna check the group chat once a week. I'm not gonna respond in a group chat. Text me on the side. Whatever your boundary is, you get to set it, right? Even your internal dialogue. Come on, let's talk about it. The heck are you saying to yourself? Again, I talked about this on an episode a few months back. I don't care how many podcasts you listen to, all the gurus, self-help, self-love, self-awareness. It don't even matter how much you read your Bible, unless you are internalizing the goodness of it in terms of how you speak to yourself. Because it don't matter. If you don't do that, then all these other things are just external and it will not work. What do you say to yourself when you wake up in the morning? Do you say that you are loved? Do you say that you are loved, that you are seen, that you are valued, that you is kind, that you is important? How do you talk to yourself? Because that internal peace, baby, that internal worth and value, that stuff you need to be stirring up in your soul in the morning. Come on. That way, if nobody else says it to you that you're beautiful, somebody stopped me today and was like, oh my God, you are so pretty. I just don't know how I missed this before. And I wasn't like, well, girl, I don't know how you missed it because I've been sitting pretty for a long time. No, I'm kidding. Maybe I'm not. But the point is, that's how I speak to myself. Girl, look at, girl, you look good, won't you? Well, no, I ain't going to back it up right now. But when my husband comes, I am backing it up. Okay, anyway, the point is that how you talk to yourself up here, okay, your spirit is hearing your own internal dialogue. And so if you're finding that, I can't get peace, start there first. Because you could light a candle and read a book, journal, read your Bible, all that. But if how you talking to yourself and how you're hearing yourself talk about yourself is not aligned and not filled with peace and love and purpose and faith and hope, it's not gonna move. Okay, you're not gonna be able to find a soft place in a loud world. All right. So the world is loud. It'll always be loud. Everything does not deserve access to your time, to your space, to your energy. You get to determine that. Okay. You get to choose what you allow in. You get to unplug before you're overstimulated, before you're triggered. Okay. You get to turn down the volume on what drains you, and you get to be honest about it when you've had enough. Okay. When you need to go for a drive, when you need to call that person, when you need to just write something down real quick. You need to do a voice memo. You need to send a voice note. You need to listen to this song real quick. You need to not talk about it for 2 days. I will come back to it in 2 days. I'll come back to it in 3 days. Jesus died and rose in 3 days. Okay. So remember, peace is not the absence of noise. It's the ability to stay centered in the middle of it. Okay. It's not the absence of noise. It's all around. It's all around. But in you, there's calm and chaos, right? There's peace. You have internal peace, and you fill your environment around you with that peace, right? The peace of God. All right. Lastly, rest and reset regularly. And I'm not just talking about sleep. Some of us, we need to do better in the sleep category. Some days that's me too. Let's try to get 6 to 8, hours of sleep. Let's try to get 8, really. But if you're at 6, let's start with 6. But rest is important as well, where you're just sitting down and you're breathing and you're resting and you're, watching your little TV, or you're cackling on the phone, or you're going for your walk, or you're sitting in silence, or you're journaling, or you're baking, or you're watering your plants, or you're going to play golf, or what. Like, rest meaning that you are disassociating or detaching from things that add to your mental shelves, right? Like rest, right? It is not, it's not laziness, okay? It is not laziness, okay? It's spiritual maintenance, okay? It's how you refuel so you can keep showing up with strength and softness, okay? Sometimes rest looks like sleep. Other times it's quiet, a walk, music, breathing, sitting in stillness, doing nothing, and being okay with that. You can't hear God clearly. You can't hear God clearly. You can't think clearly, and you can't love clearly when you're running on empty. So build rest into your rhythm, please. Not as an afterthought, but as a requirement. Like, this is something I must do. You know how we say, you must, there are certain things, you must pay your bills, and you must call so-and-so back, and you must get this project completed at work, and you must and must and must. This whole category here is a must. You need soft places to land. You need soft starts to your day as much as possible. Okay. Soft moments in your day. Right. And so, like I said before, if Jesus took time to step away, to pray, to recharge, so can we, and we need it too. Okay. So, in my closing thought, soft spaces don't happen by accident. I know you hear me. Maybe it's sounding like I'm not trying to beat a dead horse, but I really want you to experience the power of a day that is started well, right? You get to determine what well is for you. You get to determine your threshold. You get to determine what you need, right? To feel good, right? To feel ready to take on the day as much as possible. Not every day is predictable. We know that, right? But like, I want you to know, right? This does not happen by accident. Every single moment when you're able to do this is created intentionally. It's created with intention. All right. So when you fill your cup, protect your peace, embrace your peace, and rest without guilt. You're not just surviving in a loud world. You're thriving with grace, with presence, and in overflow. Okay, so I want to thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode of Morning Cup of Jubilee. Tune in every Wednesday, 7:30 a.m. Please share, like, comment. Thank you so much if you have subscribed to It's Jubilee TV. My followers, my subscribers are really, really growing, and I appreciate that. Please believe with me. I believe that this is an international radio and TV talk show that really encourages people and inspires people every single day. And so I want to say thank you for tuning in. Enjoy your day. Happy Wednesday. Love ya.